The silence after that night did not lift. It settled. Morning came, but it felt wrong, too pale, too quiet. Damien stood in the living room long after sunrise, staring at the wall where a shadow still lingered, even though the light had shifted. He did not ask where the missing child was. He did not call a name. Some part of him already knew better than to pretend. The hunger was no longer whispering. It was patient now. When Damien finally stepped outside, the compound seemed to recoil. A neighbor paused mid-sweep and lowered her eyes. Another locked his gate a little too loudly. Children passing the street went silent, as if an unseen hand had pressed a finger to their lips. Damien smiled at them. The smile did not reach his eyes. Inside the house, things had begun to move without permission. Doors creaked open on their own. The kitchen light flickered even when power was steady. At night, the air grew thick and warm, like breath trapped in a closed mouth. Damien would sit at the dining table, hands shaking, listening to chewing sounds that came from nowhere. Sometimes, he chewed too, long after the plate was empty. The remaining child watched him carefully. They noticed how Damien avoided mirrors now. How he flinched at the sound of cutlery. How he locked himself in the bathroom for hours, whispering apologies to no one. At night, the child hid under the bed, clutching a spoon like a weapon, counting Damien's footsteps as they passed the door. Once. Twice. Stopping. Always stopping. That was when the voice came back. It sounded like his wife, at first. Soft. Tired. Disappointed. Damien, it would say from the dark corners of the room. Look at what you've done. He would beg it to stop. He would remind it of hunger, of poverty, of promises made in desperation. But the voice only laughed, and when it laughed, it changed, deeper, slower, older than the house itself. You fed me, it said. Now I live in you. Damien stopped going to work. Money appeared anyway. Food appeared anyway. But none of it satisfied him. He paced the house like an animal trapped in its own skin, nails digging into his palms, jaw clenched until it hurt. Outside, suspicion thickened.
Look there.
Neighbors counted days. They noticed the absence. They noticed the smell. They noticed that only one child ever came outside now, and even that child never stayed long. One evening, they asked questions. Damien answered calmly. Too calmly. He said the children were with family. He said grief had made him private. He said people should mind their business. That night, the hunger grew angry. Lights flickered violently. Plates rattled. Damien collapsed to the kitchen floor, screaming that he had given enough, that there was nothing left to take. The answer came from inside his own chest, slow and cruel. Blood remembers blood. The remaining child did not wait to hear more. Rain fell hard as they ran barefoot through mud and darkness, heart hammering louder than the thunder. Damien chased them to the gate, shouting warnings, promises, lies, but his legs gave way. He fell into the dirt, watching the small shape disappear into the night. For the first time, the hunger did not follow. It stayed. Damien lay there, soaked and shaking, as a single thought burned through his mind. He was no longer feeding the thing inside him. And hungry things do not forgive. Far away, someone knocked on a door. And somewhere closer, something knocked back. Do you think the story ends here?